And we're live. Hello,
Yes.
everybody. Welcome to Voices of Courage by Class Living. I'm Anita, and this is my partner and friend, Lillian. Lillian, how are you feeling today? Was dinner good last night?
You asked me how am I feeling today. Was dinner good last night? Yes, dinner
Yeah.
was fantastic.
We
Yeah,
went
we
out for an amazing dinner. And that
yeah,
was a very, very good dinner. It was a wonderful dinner, and we tasted food cuisine from a different region, right? And it was very
yeah.
interesting, the food that we had in Chinatown. So and I think it's very apt also for our topic today, talking about be intentional in creating an environment of trust. So Lilian, would you like to explain the topic?
Yeah, before we explain the topic, so for those of you who are watching for the first time, this is a channel that we simply just want to, inspire and empower you with practical tips and strategies so that you can apply immediately. You can have get a immediate takeaway to apply in your life for to see that needle change, right? In the area of your thinking or in the area of your emotional health. Okay, so we base our sharing on the Courage Blueprint, which address the 9 domains of your life, nurturing and cultivating 7 critical core values through a 3-step process. Okay, so for the past episodes, we have been covering the core values. So this episode is the wrapping up of the core value series. So, in a nutshell, using the acrostic class, which is also our core value: courage, love, authenticity, stewardship, and significance, plus 2 more, which is commitment and responsibility, which we covered yesterday, right? No, on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday.
responsibility.
I'm
Yeah.
responsible for my life.
Yeah,
Yes.
so with all these core values, we discuss about these core values. How does it impact our life, right? And that's why, and more importantly, I mean, also very importantly, is how does it help us be intentional in creating an environment of trust in our in our sphere of influence, in our relationships, with the people in our lives. How do we um, how does this core value help us
Mhm.
to be intentional in creating this environment? So we want to recap lah, recap
Okay.
these core values as well as the application of it, right?
Okay.
Mm.
So
So
I'm here to understand is that once we have all these core values, it's very natural, isn't it? When we apply these core values in our lives, it's very natural that um, automatically we will actually, without knowing, unintentionally creating an environment of trust, isn't it? Because when we have all these core values in us, like love, stewardship, and all the, I think people will see how authentic um, we are, as people, and automatically there's always that little bit of element of trust. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
mm, I think there are also like 4 points that four points that I want to share about like being intentional in creating an environment of trust, having this
Yes,
foundation of core values in mind. That is,
yes,
we will always be thinking about whether do we value people, because relationship requires a lot of connecting, right? We
yeah.
connect with people. Does your relationship with people is very surface? Do you
Mm.
actually value people, or you see people as a tool, as a you know as
Stepping
your
stone,
huh
stepping stone. To
stepping
make
stone, or yeah, or
yeah.
do you see people only, do you see only their weaknesses, their flaws, you know because when you value people, you will want to um, uh, draw out the strength
Yes.
that's in them, right? Yeah, you want to
Bring the
connect
best
with
in them.
them
Yeah.
at their strength, right? So we can together build each other up and achieve the goal, the common goal, instead of stepping on each other and then like not getting anywhere, right?
I
Busy focusing
understand.
on the negatives and then not connecting uh, at that level where we move each other forward.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
number one, about valuing people, and that
Mm-hmm.
got to do a lot with connecting with them at their strength, right?
Okay.
Of course, having empathy of their struggles and weaknesses lah. But if we
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about moving forward, achieving results, we want to uh, focus on the strength that will move us forward, right?
Mm. Yep.
Mm. Then number two is about adding value to people. So
Okay.
how do and that got to do with influencing them, right? Because when we contribute our strength and our behaviors, because based on our core values, right? Everything that we do is based on act out of love, doing things out of courage, being authentic and all that, right? So with these core values in mind, how do we add value to people,
Mm-hmm.
and inspiring them and influencing them towards the positive direction, right? Or are
Again.
we influencing them in the negative and
Yeah.
going down the pity party, you know?
Yeah. It does happen, right? When it does happen actually in very much in let's take work environment, right? When we work with people, or there tend to be, I see very few, okay, but I have to give credit when credit is due. In my previous work environment, when I was a preschool teacher, now recapping back all these core values, recapping back like adding value to people and influencing them towards a positive direction. I have to
Mm,
admit, I mean, my last job in my preschool days was a really in an environment that is very intentional, in very
mm,
very intentional in building people up, in adding value to their lives, in connecting them at their strength, and and I have to admit, I'm so happy to hear majority of our new teachers, especially when you're new and your first job, I always feel is very very important. The environment will make or break you, because that's your first impression, right? And we have so many young teachers, fresh graduates coming up, and whenever they finish their third tenure with us, I always hear this, oh, this is the safest and the nicest place to work, especially if you're first time wanting to be a teacher. So very few places, that I've heard that add value, to people and influencing them towards their strength and influencing them towards what is positive and what is right. So there are hope out there, people. There are hope out there. Okay, but I think it starts a lot with us. It starts a
yeah.
lot with us.
Yeah, that's why the emphasis here is like, how do you being intentional in creating this environment,
Yeah.
that build trust, that build that build trust lah, and then you can add value to people's life by influencing
Yeah.
them through these core values, and
Yes.
these
Yes.
core values are very long term thing that you want to build into a person's life, right? So nurture
Yes.
and cultivate this core value, because it is for life, right? Yeah.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah. And the next point that okay, by the way, these 4 points that I'm sharing, right, this is actually I learned this from John Maxwell. Yeah, so he's the leadership guru here, and yeah, so I read a lot of his books, watch a lot of his podcasts and YouTube. So yeah, learning a lot from him, and I find that these 4 values, these 4 points, I find that it ties very well with the
Yeah.
core values that we are talking about. That's why I'm like bringing it into the picture. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the third point that he mentioned is, do we live good values? Because
Ah.
to be intentional in creating an environment of trust, we need to live out these good values, right? So that it will attract the people, people with similar values, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and even if people not the similar values, when they are attracted to because of our core values and the environment that we create, they will be attracted to us, and something very different about this group of people or about this organization, this company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that got to be to do with attracting people because you're living out these values.
Yes. Yes.
So talking is cheap, but you can talk about all the values, but you're not living it
Yeah,
out. It doesn't
it's
make any
true.
difference at all, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but you can talk about it, you can read about it, it can be internalized. But once he has to go through that process, and when it comes out, does it come out authentic? I always feel, and
And of
and
course,
it's
this
also,
is easier said than done.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, we will always
Also,
make mistakes. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, mistake is inevitable. I mean, we will make mistakes. We are human. We are all made in progress. And but what I feel is actually very vital is that is how we say when we choose to live out these good values, when we choose, to be of um, very intentional in creating a positive environment. I tell you, it also starts with our life. It starts where our home is. It starts when we are alone. So I feel like to do this, it has to start with yourself. It has to start with the fact that when you live out these core values, then you don't have to fake it, right? Fake it till you make it, because it won't last. When you fake it till you make it, it will never last and never be authentic. And people can read through you, I feel.
Yeah. And I think it's very important in the area of like nurturing our children.
Yes.
Or okay, two examples lah. One is towards the children, because if we leave out these good values, of course we are influencing them directly, right? They are with us
Yes.
most of the time. They see us, they model after us. So
Yes.
leaving out these good values definitely will directly influence our children. And I
Yes.
think having core values, if you have not, by the way, our audience, if you have not list out, the core values that you want to be guiding your life, or you want to cultivate, in your
Mm.
life, yeah, that's the first step. You want to list down some of the core values. Then after that, practice it, live it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it will remind you every time you come across a problem or a conflict, for example,
Yes.
or
Yes.
misunderstanding, because all of us are very different individual, right, with different personality and all that. So the way we communicate, the way we think, feel, and act and communicate will be very different, and the way we receive that same message will also be very different. So
Yeah.
when conflict arises or misunderstanding arises, now these core values will definitely help you in handling those misunderstanding and conflict as well.
Yeah.
Because if your core value is do everything, act, with love, then you will approach the matter out of love, right?
Yeah.
And you are having the core value of good stewardship, right? So you will not misuse and abuse the resources that you have.
Yes. Of
How
course.
many times have you heard, in organization that we take it for granted, oh, company one, then we just take lah, like
Or like
uh,
we take an innocent pen home.
huh?
We take an
Whatever,
innocent pen home.
whatever
Yeah.
you take and all that, like okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, what kind of value are you are you living out,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, I'm guilty of that as well, like maybe I don't know, I can't remember what I take, probably
No lah.
50 or what. So
No.
yeah, so these core values will remind us and guide us lah, guide our
Mm, mm,
behaviors
mm,
as well.
mm. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, like, again, you must have penned down. You should pen down what your core values are, and then, I always feel like core values will be tested.
Mm.
In the most difficult time. When you have to make a decision based on your core value, which you feel
Or
is doing the right thing, or
yeah,
sometimes
your interest, your own personal agenda, your personal ambitions,
even
etc.,
if,
etc., etc.
yeah, etc. Even to the point like, okay, do I stick to my core values or I sacrifice for profit?
Mm.
Especially when you come to a business environment. So I feel that that's very difficult because at this time, right? At this time, it is tough. It is tough. Bottom line is important. We need to put food on the table. But I have heard enough stories, or may I use the word testimonies, right, from friends or people I know personally that has decided not to sacrifice their core values and beliefs,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
and and for some beautiful reason, it came true in the sense that they didn't take the shortcut and they
Mm.
stuck to what was right. So I feel that if we have more people like this, I feel, more people like this sticking to what their core values are and being very intentional. Everything here we are saying is actually very, very intentional.
Yeah.
Having courage, love, authenticity, stewardship, right? Commitment, responsibility is actually very, very intentional. It's not autopilot. None of us are autopilot to be courageous, or none of us are autopilot to have love for everyone, especially those who cannot love, right? Those who are driving on the CTE on certain hours, I'm telling you now, I find it very difficult to love you, especially this morning. That one uncle decided to didn't even use indicator and cut into my lane. Okay, so but jokes aside, but I always feel that core values, the right core values, is very intentional. It's never ever autopilot. I feel, and it takes a lot
Yeah.
to
And
build
of
this
course,
core values.
yeah, and of course, the last point is share good values. So that got to do with transforming, you know. So you live it, you cultivate it. You list it down, you practice it. Yeah, as in that you living it out, internalize it. Yeah, and finally, everything that we have or cultivate, just like the trees that bear fruits, you want to be giving it away, right? You want to
Yeah,
share
the
it.
tree that keep on giving, the
Yeah,
giving tree. Have you read the story of the children's book called The Giving Tree?
the giving tree. Yeah,
Yeah.
just do a nutshell.
Okay, a nutshell of this
Of
giving
it.
tree. It's just a simple tree. So from this little child, he goes to the tree. Very simple. So any tree activity lah. You sit under the tree for shade. You swing it for fun. You climb it. You have the fruits, right? You eat it. So and the tree was just doing what a tree needed to be done. Okay, but as the child grew older, he became a young man. He started abandoning the tree because of girlfriend lah, got children, normal. And the tree was still there, being a tree. Then, as the man grew up, he chopped down the tree. He chopped down the tree because he needed it to build a house. He needed the wood, right? And the tree was just left at the stump, and he built his house and everything. But everything in life, we got to know, I will not remain beautiful 21 like how I look today, right? Forever. Okay, we just found out my age today. I'm 21. Thank you. Okay. So as the man grew older, of course, his children, grew up and they had their family, and his wife passed away for old age. He came back to the tree and he sat on the top. So it's just like it's a beautiful children's book, called The Giving Tree. And it's just, the tree was just keeping to its values, keeping to its core values, keeping to what is right, doing what is right, being the authentic tree, giving
and
shape.
and giving everything that it has,
Yeah,
from
giving,
the roots to the
yeah,
trunk to the leaf
everything.
to the branch to the fruit to
And
every
the
part of
whole
the
time,
tree to the
and the
bark.
whole time, the tree never complained. The tree did what the tree needed to do, being intentional, being authentic, giving fruits. But even though when the boy chopped it down to build a house, the tree never complained. And the ending was really beautiful, where when the boy sat on top of the old man now, sat on the tree trunk, and all the tree says, it's nice to have you back.
Oh, that's such a beautiful story. Yeah,
It is, it is, it's an award reading book, a children's book.
yeah, yeah. I
And
heard this story like so long ago. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, so
In
long
fact,
ago.
during my preschool days, we did a whole project work, a 8-week project work. I remember a 4 week, 4 week mini project work on the Giving Tree. So and then you can teach so much values to children, exactly the same core values that we have here. Courage, love, authenticity, stewardship, and significance, commitment, responsibility to children. And in the end, I remember we actually made things, handmade things, craft, to be given away to less fortunate, and we give away to each other. I
Mm.
remember whatever we make, so it's like the tree that keep on giving, right? So whatever drawings or art and craft, we had a gift exchange within class. And the best
Yeah.
part is none of the kids complain like, mine is not nice. How come you got a nicer one? Nothing. Everybody was just, the children were just happy receiving a gift. And that was
Mm,
just so pure. That was just so pure.
yeah. I mean, that reminds me of like when I was in primary school, my very first primary school, there is a very big old tree, and
Mm-hmm.
around it there will always be this, what do we call that, the love seats.
Oh,
The
the red color ones, right?
yeah, what is it called? I can't remember the name of
I
it.
can't remember but saga seeds, SEGA, saga seeds. We call it
Yeah, so
saga seeds. And then you
saga
put
seats.
it to the cup, yeah, to
Yeah,
make
we
five
will
stones, right?
collect it. Yeah, it's like a heart shape and all that. Yeah, we will collect it and all that.
Oh,
And we were so happy, like if I have a sad day, I'll go to the tree and start picking all these, seeds. And immediately after that, I'm happy. The tree actually transformed my day.
your knees are so
That's the
simple.
joy.
But it's true. I remember growing up, you know, primary school age, right? We used to play, and I remember we will always meet under this tree, okay? Because kids were coming from different roads and streets, right? So we meet under this tree, and this tree will give up some wild cherry-looking light, small ones. And I remember the green ones. We used to make guns. You take it and then you have your rubber band and then you
Oh yeah,
shoot
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm not encouraging
I think
anybody at
the
home to
younger
do it.
generation will be like, what are these two
What
talking
are you
about?
doing? Come on, you should be having your phone, remember?
These were
But
the good
it's
old
true.
kampong days
The good
games,
old kampong days. Yeah,
inventions,
and,
right?
and the best part is we were so authentic, I feel, so intentional in just being pure, in just being kind and there was, we have up to sometimes 20 kids playing together. And some are still friends till today.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think that's
beautiful.
why it's also very important that we want to um, being intentional as parents, especially I think we
Yes.
want to be intentional in cultivating core values in our children.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, besides the personal development programs for women, for adults who are women or mothers, we
Yep.
also looking forward to to have programs that will nurture our children,
Yes.
right, based on
Right.
the same core values. Yeah,
Yes.
same core
Yes.
values based on the same blueprint. Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, stay tuned because we are rolling out children's personal
Program.
program as well.
Yes. We are. And it'll be very exciting. I think it'll be something different. It'll be something different. And I think it's high time also that we
Yeah, because mothers are the direct influencer to the children, right?
yep.
So,
Yep.
and as well as to the husband. Yeah.
Yes. Of course.
That's why we are so passionate about empowering women. And of course, that will extend to our children.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah, we just want to wrap up this episode about the core values, which
Yep.
is one of the very critical component in our blueprint, right,
Mm-hmm.
in the developing of our programs.
Yep.
And yeah, so we will start another series, a new series, which, yeah, stay tuned. We will,
Next
uh,
week Tuesday, and we have new guests coming through.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the the next series, we'll be inviting guests to come on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different
Amazing.
topics. Yeah, but exciting topics.
Yep.
Yes. And
And
do you notice something different today?
I almost wanted to do the same, and then I tried to tie it right, and I went, oh, certain looks suits other people better, so let's stick to basics. When our scarf we are wearing is the Woman of Courage Asia scarf. I'm going to take it out and then show it to you. How beautiful it is. It is a wonderful.
Custom design. Yeah,
Yeah,
custom
by
design with the Kinzuki artwork story behind it. So you see all the gold threadings in between. Yeah. So no
so
matter how broken your life is, yeah. So if you Google the Kinzuki artwork, the
yeah,
broken pieces that are meant to put together back again with the gold um,
Yeah,
with the gold. Yeah,
yeah.
he
We
can
go.
create a very beautiful art piece after
Yes.
that. Yeah. So
So we.
that's what we thought. It was a very good story to use
Yep.
to explain what we are doing here. Yeah,
Yep. And
in
and
in
you
our
need.
community. No matter how broken your life is, we can put it back together with, and the outcome will be even more beautiful, right?
Exactly. So I feel that we're never permanently broken. No matter, I mean, if you go to the Moment of Courage Asia, you in our how do you say website, you can find the staff, okay, but also you can join us in a monthly empowerment meeting and find and hear stories of women who were once broken but never permanently broken because they were made whole again by gold, okay, not because they wear a lot of gold but because they have they had the courage to come out of the situation and make themselves better, and now they can share their story. And
And
speaking
you can
of,
wear the scarf in different ways. So if you check out our episode, you have see us
yeah,
wearing it differently.
yeah, I'm more conservative in what I do, but please watch out for Lillian. Speaking about different ways and goal, okay, different ways. Clarity call with Lillian. If you need to find a different way for your life, if you need to find a different outcome, if you think you're broken and you find that you need a different outlook, outreach, reach out to Lillian. Okay, clarity call with Lillian. Okay, click on the link; it's all there. Book a session with her, and get clarity and get to find out that you're not permanently broken and find strategies. Okay, strategies that can help you, that hopefully can make you permanently whole. And
Yeah.
Lillian,
There are
you're
always
very,
breakdowns and mistakes. Yeah,
yeah, and
there's
it's
a
never
lot
permanent.
of potential and strength in us.
Yeah,
So
it's never permanent.
in that clarity. Mm.
Okay, Lillian, talk to us about the boot camp.
Okay. Yes. So that's happening in April, 16 to 18 April. For
Yes,
women, by women only.
yep, only
Yeah, it's
women.
not just 3 days full immersion, breakthrough, breaking, tearing down limiting beliefs and breaking self-sabotaging patterns, but
Yes,
also, intentionally setting goals and action plans so that you can move forward to see your dreams come true, right? Or even
yeah,
closer to your dreams. And that's not just 3 days, because there's a post boot camp, 90 days support that we support with our community as well as our coaches, right? So we really want to see all of us, breaking all these self-sabotaging habits and achieving
yeah,
our goals. And we don't want to do it alone, right? So there's support, there's power, there's strength in a tribe.
yes.
So
And,
join us. Yeah.
And the best part is that we've been getting a lot of amazing positive support from corporates, corporate companies that really encourages us and say, hey, you guys are doing the right thing. And it is the right thing to do. So we are very, very blessed. We are very, very honored. So we're getting a lot of support from other women out there. So do join us and be one of those pioneer groups, right? To journey this with us.
Yeah, and you know that we are supporting young women as well.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want to sponsor another woman or another young woman to the boot camp, click on the link to get
Yes.
you can download the sponsorship deck, so you
Yes.
can make a difference together with us by supporting another
Yeah.
woman to the boot camp.
Yeah,
Right?
do be the difference, okay? Be the difference. And we'll see you next week Tuesday. And
Yes,
yes,
totally new series.
yeah, new series. We'll see you next week Tuesday. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
apply those core values.
Yes, apply,
Bye.
apply.